Well, oh God, that was a teacher voice.
Oh,
I'm so sorry. So sorry for you guys. Anyway, welcome to My Opinion Doesn't Matter, the podcast where we give you our opinions and they do not matter. I scratched you. That hurt
sure
really
the
bad.
Frick did.
I am your host, Rocky.
And I'm Jay.
And today, hey, that rhymed.
We have so much to talk about, actually.
Gosh.
So many
We have
things.
our trip. We have fast food to talk about. We have an engagement story. Hey. And then I might have some YouTube things to talk about.
Some tangents. Okay. I'm always down for some quick load. Or maybe not some quick load. And we were probably... If this goes over an hour, I think it's okay. Just because we missed an episode. Missed you guys. We missed you guys. We fucked up.
We had real high hopes from doing this from Dallas. We were going to record in Dallas. Well, your parents live in Dallas, but they live near Dallas.
Right.
And we were going to record a podcast at their house. We even took the laptop to do it and everything. And then not shit hit the fan, but our sleep schedule hit the fan.
Yep.
And in all honesty, let me just be real with you guys for a second. Our sleep schedule got so bad, we were going to bed at 6 a.m. and waking up at 3 p.m.
Yeah, it was...
For 2 weeks. And then we basically used the Dallas trip to get our sleep schedule back in order. Which, thinking back on it now, not the best time to, redo your sleep schedule, cold turkey. Mm-hmm. But it worked. Now we're sleeping by midnight and we're up by You're up by 7:30. I'm not up till 8 and then don't get out of bed till 10, but...
Right. So, one other little thing. We took your guys' advice. Constructive criticism. We have a whole new mic now.
You can see it.
Yeah.
If you're watching, watch the YouTube video, listeners only.
Anyway, if you are watching our YouTube video... And if you're hearing, I'm sure you can hear a major difference.
Hopefully.
We have a new mic now that we just got. And then we also have a new camera. So hopefully, you guys see a huge difference in that too. Because my other camera just kind of had a firmware update. And it went to straight trash. So then we got a new one. And I actually really love it. I think it's
it looks really good.
Really well. So...
And... Sorry, don't interrupt you.
No, you're good.
And if I can get the old camera to work on the Mac, that's in my office, there might be some streams coming from me, cozy games.
Oh, yeah.
Summer and Mara, Animal Crossing. I might even venture into Stardew Valley. I don't know. That's a whole nother universe that I have not even stepped foot in. And then games like Spyro, Bendy, and stuff like that. But we'll see. I don't know. No commitments yet.
Yeah, I'm super excited just because, now we can really get the ball rolling on...
I get to live out my YouTube dreams.
Okay. We're really getting the ball rolling on our podcast and, being able to deliver clean and clear podcasts. That way we can,
It actually will be something. It's not just a mumbled mess of our tangents.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm really happy about that. So... Now we can talk about our trip.
Yes. Yes. Okay, let's just rewind to the night before we left for Texas. For those of you who don't know, Jay streams on Twitch, Jay Carter Jones. You can also catch it now on Facebook as well under the same Facebook name of Jay Carter Jones. It's his gaming page. And you were streaming Little Nightmares 2, which, fun game. I suggest anyone who likes gaming at all to any extent, I think it would be a good game to play.
Yep.
You streamed for 3.5 hours, and you did not finish streaming until 11.
Right. So we were supposed to go to Texas. We were supposed to get up and leave we were supposed to wake up at 5. We changed that to leaving the house by 5. Mm-hmm. And so I was supposed to be packed and ready. We were supposed to be packed, already done.
Before you started streaming.
Before I started streaming. And that did not get done because I had to go to therapy.
You had to go to therapy. Our sleep schedule was still not good. And our laundry was not done. So while you're streaming, I'm like doing 3 loads of laundry. Like we have 3 laundry baskets for some reason.
Full of clean clothes.
And they were all full. And so we were trying to pack, digging through all these clean clothes to find our stuff. Given it, we probably got packed for, let's see, we were going to stay there for 5 days.
Mm-hmm.
We packed for 5 days in an hour. And there was not one thing I was like, dang, I wish I would have packed that. Like, we had everything. Most efficient I have ever packed in my life.
Yeah, we did it pretty...
We did pretty good.
We did pretty good. And then we woke up at... We had our alarm set for 4:15 and then to kind of snooze it at 4:30 to, like, get up and get ready to leave by 5. But we ended up... The alarms both went off at the same time, so it sounded like an air raid going off.
I thought shit was happening. I shot straight out of bed.
And we got up and we were like, okay, we're not going to go. Like, we tried to go back to sleep and snooze, but we were already awake at that point because the alarms just went ham. Mm-hmm. So we woke up, we got our shit, put it all in the car, got out of here literally by 4:30. Like, it didn't take us that long at all.
No, not really.
We got gas. And then we got there around 10:30, and it was fun.
Yeah, it was really fun.
We were definitely... I was sleep deprived because I'm not allowed to drink caffeine per therapist and doctor's orders, so I can't drink caffeine anymore.
And I was going on... Because I didn't end up falling asleep till like 2:30.
Yeah.
Got up at 4:15. I'm not going to say I chugged the energy drink because I didn't want to drink it fast because then I'd have to pee before our first stopping point because we stopped halfway, like 2.5 hours in. So I was like sipping on a Ghost energy drink the whole way there basically. And then I hit like a high with it and then I hit a big low with it. Like I got crashed. We got there at like 10:30, 11 maybe.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh man, it's got to be like 2:30, almost 3 p.m. already. And I was like,
it's only 11.
It's only 11.
Yep.
And then we were out and about, and I was like, dang, like it's got to be like 7, like it's dinner time. And I looked at the clock, and it was 3:30, and I was like, not dinner time.
So I was super sleep deprived, but I was like, I don't want to take a nap and I don't want to go to bed right now. Mm-hmm. I just really want to get through this day, get it done. That way we could just get back to the house. 8, 9 o'clock rolls around, we go to bed.
And sleep at a normal time, like in our sleep schedule. We were really trying to get that sleep schedule back in order.
Right. So now we have finally kind of got back into the order of things, but that Friday when we got to my parents' house, we said hi to them and stuff, and then we went out to Grapevine Mills. If you're not from Texas, it is in Grapevine, Texas. If you are, then you already know what I'm talking about. But it is an outlet mall that's basically looks like just a regular mall, but it's an outlet mall. It's a flat. It's not like an upstairs or downstairs. It's just a flat mall, kind of like Town West in Wichita, Kansas, but it's not desolate as fuck. And we didn't buy anything there. And I honestly was very surprised that we didn't, because normally every time I've gone, I've always bought like 2 pairs of shoes or like some clothes or something every time I've gone. But this time, I was kind of unimpressed. I was just kind of like...
We had very specific things we were looking for.
Yeah, we were very specifically looking for something.
Looking for new shoes to work out in.
Yeah.
And we had just bought a whole bunch of t-shirts from Half Off Half, or Half of Half, here in Wichita. So we weren't really looking for t-shirts. I did almost buy a crop top jersey, like tank top from Nike, but then like ended up not.
Yeah.
That was the only thing I was like, man, kind of wish I would have bought that, but I can order that online.
So we ended up going to, we were there for about 2 hours, and then we went to the Galleria, and it's a mall downtown, and it is very hard to get to if there's a lot of traffic, which at the time there was, obviously, there always is, I feel like. And we get there, and there's 4 stories of just shit that we don't even shop at. Like when I lived in Texas, I really didn't shop at the Galleria because it was just somewhere I knew that I wasn't going to find what I was looking for, because most of every store in there is like I think there's a Macy's in there if I'm correct. There's a Vans store, but it's not a Vans outlet. It's just a regular like Vans store. So I'm like, if it ain't no outlet, I ain't fucking with it. And that's just because I know I'm gonna find more stuff at the outlet that I'm trying to get to. So we were there for about two hours, maybe 2 or 3 hours.
When I was really excited there was a Disney store. Given it looked like they were like restocking all their stuff, like so changing their stock.
Yeah.
So I did get an oversized tie-dye Disney sweatshirt that I've been living in. If you follow me on any sort of social media,
I finally
TikTok,
had to tell her
Instagram.
to watch that shit. I finally was like, bitch, put that shit in their clothes. Like, I bought a Bucky shirt that I love. Like, I live for it. But it's in Under Day Clothes because I was like, dude, no.
Given I had only worn it after I showered.
That's true.
And I did not wear it outside because it is a sweatshirt. And yes, I did buy a sweatshirt in the summertime, but that's because inside gets cold, and I will stand by that.
So then we got food, and...
You had lackluster, and I had magnificent, brought down by the gods.
When I tell you my heart was broken, bitch... fucking broken. Like, anybody that knows me knows I live and breathe Chicken Express. And I ate that shit and I was like, what the actual fuck? I will never eat this shit again because it was just very, like, the chicken strips they gave me were like, I had 4, right?
Yeah.
And, normally you get chicken strips, they're a pretty good size. This had, like, no meat. It was just breading. And then they gave me these little crusty ass fries. I was like, yeah, this was...
They did seem very stressed.
They did, but I don't give a fuck. Like, that, I'm sorry. Like, I've been to Chicken Express when it was on Swole, and that has never been a problem. But this, I was like, nah, this ruined. Like, my experience in Texas on eating was just foul, except for probably one time. It was foul as fuck, and we're gonna dive into that. We are because that pisses me off. But
I had In-N-Out, and I fucking love In-N-Out. I had In-N-Out for the first time in Arizona with my college roommate Kenzie, and which I'm surprised we even went there because her family's not very fast. Like, they don't eat a lot of fast food. And they're like, for you to experience this. And I was like, thank God, you're the best. And so I went to In-N-Out, and I get the double, and it's double meat, double cheese. And then the fries, I get animal style. And for those of you who don't know what animal style is, it's melted cheese, grilled onions. And I hate onions, but these are the best onions ever. There's like the little, like, chopped up ones. It's not even like big pieces.
Yeah.
And then I think it's like Thousand Island dressing. And they call it like their special sauce or like their In-N-Out sauce, whatever. But it's just like Thousand Island dressing. And then they put it on top of your fries. You can also get your burgers animal style, but it's a lot. And we were eating it at your parents' house, and I didn't want to make a mess.
So our first day was good. We obviously went to bed pretty early that night.
About like 9:30.
Yeah, 9:30 we went to bed, and then the next day I took her to Trader's Village, and the next day, July 2nd, that is our anniversary.
We had been together for 1 year.
It feels like it's been a lot shorter than that.
Honestly, sometimes...
It feels long and short at the same time.
It feels like we've been together for 5 years and 5 months at the same time.
Yeah, it just feels
So, let me
weird.
give you some backstory. Sorry, I just hit his headphones over here. To July 2nd. So I had plans on proposing to him. I told him basically from day one, I'm proposing to you because we're not a conventional couple to begin with.
Nope.
Like, we mark all the weird boxes. And so we might as well just switch it up, and I want to propose. I think that'd be fun. And you kind of already knew when I was going to, I tried to lie about it, but I'm a bad liar. If anybody knows me in real life, I can't lie to save my life.
No, she cannot.
Which I don't know if that's a fault or like,
It's a thing. She can't lie. Like, it's...
So he kind of knew it was coming, but he didn't know when or where because I wanted it to be, something special for him. And so originally my plan was, because the original plan was we were going to eat dinner with his parents on Friday night, and then Saturday we were going to be by ourselves. And I was like, perfect. I'll do it after dinner, it'll be great. Like, we can go somewhere we're not going to be able to get in Kansas. Like, it'll be a whole experience. And then we get there on Friday, and his mom's like, by the way, dinner with yourself Friday. We're going to eat dinner together on Saturday. And I'm like, great. Which I could have told your mom, like, hey, I'm planning on proposing that day, but I also didn't want to, like, overstep any boundaries of, like, any plans they had already set. And so it's like, okay, that's fine. I told you, I was like, hey, since we're going to be with your parents, Saturday night, can we pretty please make sure that we're just us throughout the day? And he's like, why? And I was like, don't worry about it. You don't need to know. But you kind of already knew, like I said. And so so we went to Trader's Village first, and that was like a open market type of...
It was like a bazaar, basically, of people that have like storage units that they have open and they sell stuff out of them. Mm-hmm. And that we were out there for about 3 hours.
Oh yeah.
And it was hot as fuck. I mean, obviously we're in Texas.
Yeah, but we expected it to be hot, so we packed, light clothes.
And we had, we bought little ices and stuff. And
it was cute.
Just kind of walked around. We didn't buy anything there either because nothing. Normally I buy like a hat or something, mm-hmm. but nothing caught my eye this time. So we kind of just went to the car and left, and we went to. I think that's when we went to the outlet, the mm-hmm. Tanger Mall, outlet mall on...
Is that the only outlet mall we went to that day?
No, we went to Tanger out in Fort Worth is new. And that's where we bought...
Majority of our stuff.
Stuff, probably.
Because we bought shoes for my mom.
Right, and then we bought 2 pairs of... You bought
a pair of Adidas. No, sorry. Vans, and I got a pair of Vans as well.
And then I got another pair of Vans.
And then you got this hat.
Yes.
And I got a different bucket hat. Obviously, this is a Buc-ee's hat. And then we got Adidas. I got Adidas for running, and then you got Adidas because you're obsessed. And then, is that where we got Dippin' Dots?
Yes.
Yes. And then, so Jay has been talking about this whole time, which I don't know if there's anywhere to get Dippin' Dots in Kansas. Like, in Wichita, at least.
I think there is. No, there's not.
Because I feel like all the malls we go to, I never see the stands.
I don't think
Anyway, he was talking about Dippin' Dots, like, they're going to change his life. And I'm like, okay. When we stop for Dippin' Dots, that's when I'm going to propose. Because, it'll be like a sweet little treat, I had, like, a little speech prepared and everything. I had it printed out on paper in my purse, with the ring. And so we sit down at the bench for our Dippin' Dots. And I'm like, okay, this is where I'm going to do it. Yeah. And then before we had sat down for the Dippin' Dots, we had noticed this dad and his little boy. And they were wearing, like, matching boots. They had matching, jeans. And I'm like, oh, look at them. And you're like, oh, how sweet, Love to see it. And so we sit down for these Dippin' Dots. And then all of a sudden we see the little boy walk out of the store. And he's, like, looking around. Like, he's sneaking out of the store.
Yeah.
And he's going to play on stuff, like, far away from his dad. I don't even think his dad knew he was gone. So then we both were talking, like, well, now we're responsible for this child. Like, where you don't want to make sure this little boy gets kidnapped.
Yeah, basically.
And so it's like, damn, we just became parents. You didn't even get a chance to propose yet, and now we're parents.
Yeah.
And so I didn't do it then. And so we were walking around some more, and then we were getting ready to leave, and I was like, oh, sweet, there's some tables over here. It was almost like a little, like, it had some trees, a little grass area where, like, people could go rest. And I was like, let's go sit at some tables. And you're like, why? And I was like, they're going to be hot. And I'm like, let's go sit at the tables, you dummy. So we sit down, and, like, I pull out this piece of paper. And I printed it off on cardstock because I didn't want it to get ruined. And, like, I start reading. So, like, I was like, Dear Jay. I was like, Dear Jay. Jay. And he's like, what? And I'm like, just read this. And so I slid the paper over to him, and I'm, like, hyperventilating. Because, like, I knew you were going to say yes, but still, it's a big deal. And, like, I wanted it to be special, and I wanted it to be something that you would remember. And then I pulled out the ring, and then I put the ring on your finger, and you're like, yes, I'll marry you. And that's the engagement story for people who have asked. So
and that's perfect for us. Like, keep in mind, there's these extravagant, like, oh my god, we went to this little restaurant and I got in front of all these people. No, I don't like that kind of shit. She doesn't like that kind of shit. So we're both like, we are very, like, low-key people. Just, like, talk to me and be like, hey, look, I love you. I love being with you. I love the time that we have spent together in the last year. And I want to continue enjoying these memories, so on and so forth. And I love that it was just very low key, very like day of like shopping. Hey, pause for a minute. I want to talk to you about this. And of course, I'm oblivious to the whole thing because I'm like, bro, we're at these hot tables. What do you want? Like,
They were metal tables, sorry.
But they were in the shade, so they weren't actually that hot. And then after that, we told everybody that we were engaged.
So I texted my niece, Lexi. And Lexi, I know you listen to this, and I'm sorry I texted you instead of calling you. I don't call people. Everyone in my family knows that. Caitlin, I know you're listening to this. You literally tell me, I'm going to call you, answer your phone, bitch, before you call me. And so I texted Lexi. I was like, I just proposed. And she calls me, and she's like, how dare you just text me that? And then I was like, by the way, while I have you on the phone, I know it's like early for planning, but I want you to be my maid of honor because Lexi and I have, I don't want to say the most in common in my family, but we kind of do have the most in common. And we've gotten a lot closer since she's grown up. She's 6 years. Yeah, she's 6 years younger than me. So I asked her to be my maid of honor, and she started crying, and I started crying, and I'm like, oh my God.
And it was, and that's one like little tangent that I have is just like inviting people to our wedding and who is, who we are inviting and who we're not. Because we've already talked about this. Like, we already know kind of who we want to go.
It's going to be a very small wedding.
Yeah, but it's going to be full of people that, we talk to like literally every day. And if it's not every day, we talk like every other day. B, close friends and very close family. Like, it's not going to be like my cousins, unfortunately, like they're not going to be there. Like, especially cousins I don't talk to. Like, there are like maybe 2 cousins that I actually like talk to, and those 2 I will invite. But it's very like what I've explained to Megan is I'm not going to invite you just to my wedding just because you invited me. That is one of those big ass things that I 100% do not like. I don't believe in that because the biggest thing is, say you got married before me and then I got married 3 years later. Well, what if we're not friends? I'm not going to invite you to my wedding just because I went to yours before. That's just not how we're doing it. It's if we talk and we have a strong relationship and I feel like I want to be able to share that day with you, then I will extend that invitation. And some of you already know, like I've reached out to some of you and you already know that I'm going to invite you because I've already talked to you about it. But there are some other people who we've questioned, we've gone back and forth, but we've set in stone that we're probably not going to be inviting some people, and I'm going to lose a lot of friends probably because of it, but that's okay.
I mean, out of like my friends, it'll probably just be my teacher friends, like my newer friends, because one of my only best friend that I still have from high school, she's one of my bridesmaids. Yep. So outside of the 7 people I talk to on a daily out of my teacher friends, because I do talk to them daily, so like I'm definitely inviting them. Like,
right, yeah. And see, that's the thing is like, even people that have just became my friend, like I have people who are friends with me from work that I have become close with. Yes, I'll invite them because we talk to each other. Like, we actually talk to each other on a day-to-day basis. They support, whether it's like supporting our podcast or supporting like my Twitch or like Facebook streaming and stuff. Like, they're supporting those things, and like that to me is like the biggest part of a friendship.
Absolutely.
We don't do part-time friendships. We don't do that. Like, a friendship is a full-time job, and if you don't want to be here for that, that's okay. But I will part ways with that friendship because that's kind of where I draw a hard line. Is like, I just communicate like, hey, like I'm not expecting you to talk to me every day, but like just know that like if you need somebody to talk to, I'm here, but I also want that same respect back.
Yeah.
So there's some people I haven't heard from for months, and I'm just like, if you can go months without speaking to me, I mean, that's okay, but please understand that I will not be extending like, especially if I've made efforts to talk to you and you have not made any efforts to talk to me on your own. Please understand that we're not going to be extending that invitation for you to come to anything after this. Like, it's just, that's just how it's gonna be. And I feel like I needed to touch base on that because, you know,
it's been a heavy topic on your mind.
It's a very heavy topic because I have a lot of like questionable people in my life still that I still need to like get rid of at this point. But you know, this is probably gonna be the point where they.
I don't want to say I have no friends, but
you keep a very small circle of people.
I have my friends from Salina. I have Caitlin from Hiawatha, who is really the only person I talk to on a daily. Exactly. And honestly, like, I hate to sound like the biggest loser ever, but those are my only friends. I have like 7 teacher friends who are super supportive of everything I do. And then Caitlin, who's also super supportive of everything I do. Other than that, I really don't talk to many people. And I've always been that way. Like, if you ask anybody from my high school, we went to a small high school, and they'd be like, the girl who sat in the corner and didn't say anything? Like, that weirdo?
Exactly. And see, that's the thing is, like, I had a lot of friends in high school, and I had a lot of friends coming out of high school. But then as you get older, you stop caring about how many friends you have, and you start caring about how many friends you have that actually support you as a person, and literally and really support you and listen to you when you have any sort of feelings or anything, and don't give you backlash when you do have feelings. And so I think that's like the biggest thing that I'm still like working on is like, one thing that I think I said last year was it's not about like not being friends with someone that's the hardest. It's feeling guilty about it, and not feeling guilty about it is what's the hardest part. Because yeah, getting rid of a friend is easy, but not feeling guilty about it is very challenging, because if you walk away, you walked away on your terms, and it's hard for you not to feel guilty about that, because 9 times out of 10 they're gonna be like, I don't know why they fucking left, it's whatever, I don't give a fuck, or they'll like talk about you or something. But on my end, it's like I've had plenty of people walk away from our friendship, and I have no hard feelings. Like, that is strictly your decision. Have I fought? Yeah, I fought for some of them. Yeah, sure. But at the end of the day, you get older and you realize that those friendships were not meant to last forever, because they didn't. And not only that, it's to help you grow as a person. So I think at this point, like, I've really come to terms with not like holding and harboring onto relationships that no longer serve me growth, and I'm not serving them any growth either, obviously, because they're not giving me any, and I'm not giving them any. So at this point, we're at an impasse. Yeah. So it's just like, okay, well, this relationship is no longer flourishing. So, and you know, I have like my select friends. I have my best man, and then I have my 3 groomswomen, because none of my groomswomen are men. So
even your best man's not a man.
Nope, my best woman is not a man.
So do I need a 4th?
Yep.
Gosh.
Yep.
Okay.
So that,
I already know who it's gonna be anyway, but
I have 4 people. I have my best man and my 3 groomswomen, and one of which has been my best friend since we were freshmen in high school, and she has stuck around with me through all the dumbass shit that I've done, and the dumbass shit that I may do in the future. Who knows?
But she'll call you out for it.
But she will call. She 100% will be like, "You're the dumbest bitch I've ever met, but I love you, but you're dumb as fuck." And I know she's gonna listen to this shit, and she's like 100%.
That's me.
100%. Like, and I'm so excited to share a moment in my life that I never thought would ever happen. I never, like, honestly, people literally say this thing where they go, I would get married to you. Like, I would love to do that. Or they'd be like, we're going to get married. And but it's not real. It's like an in the moment thing. Like, you're like, oh, I love you. Like, I'm very in the moment. But then when it gets tough, you're like, man, I don't think I want to do that. But we've had our tough moments.
We've had some very tough moments.
We've had
tears. We've had no yelling.
Nope.
We've never yelled at each other.
Nope.
But we've definitely had tears and hard conversations.
And we've never left each other either. We've never like walked away and then left. We've always stuck it out and been like, look, man, like, how are we going to figure this out? How are we going to get through it? And that's one thing that I say that I've really worked on, is not walking away and just leaving. I've worked on just standing my ground and staying and going, how can we make this work? How can we figure this out?
Because there'll be times where you're like, I need a moment, and you'll walk away to your office. We're not talking about we force ourselves to sit in the living room and stare at each other until we're happy.
Yeah.
When he says leave, he means like the toxic, I'm going to run away to my friend's house, I want you to chase me kind of shit.
Yep, and I've done that. I've been that person for too long, but I will have never done it here. Nope. I've always sat and been like, what can we do to make this work? Because I'm very serious about it. And
which you felt like you said you're never going to get married. Meanwhile, my whole family felt like I was never going to get married, just for the fact that I've never been in a lot of relationships. I think out of like the actual, if you want to call them relationships, I've had maybe 3 in my life.
Yeah.
And because when I called my mom, because I did call my mom and tell her, I said, hey, because she knew I was going to propose already. And I said, hey, I just proposed to Jay. He said yes. And she was like, man, if I had to bet money on it, I would pick you to be last to get married out of the family. And I was like, thanks, Mom. Thanks for the, support. Thanks for the faith in me to, find a relationship.
I don't know who my mom thought out of any of us would get married first. Probably me, because I like people too much, but I don't know. But I didn't think that I would be getting married soon and B ever, because of the fact that I've gone through a lot of relationships where they may work for a little bit and then they teach me a lesson and then I'll move on to the next lesson. But this one is like, hey, now we're in it to win it. So I'm very happy about that. Yeah. Very excited about it.
And when he says soon, we're not getting married till 2024.
Yeah.
If anyone, we obviously will send out official, like, save the dates and everything, but October 19th, I had my heart set on a March wedding, but the only March date that worked was my nephew's birthday. And then we said, okay, what about April? And then the only days that worked were around my sister's birthday. And I was like, what?
And not only that, but keep in mind, we live in Kansas, and Kansas has very stupid-ass weather. In March, we all know, March and April, it could very well snow. And I would hate for it to start snowing on our wedding.
So then we moved it to May. And we're like, okay, let's check out the May days. And then it was my niece's birthday, the day after my nephew's birthday. And then we didn't want it to be that late in May. And we didn't want to go into June and July just because sweat. Yeah. I don't care if you have an indoor wedding. I don't want to be sweating.
Yeah.
And then, so we're like, okay, dang. So January, you don't want to get married in January. Like, that's like right around New Year's. People are just coming off of holidays. Like, that's a lot. February, too close to Valentine's Day. We didn't like that. And then March again was out. So then we're like, okay, what about September? That's around the time I'd be starting school. I'd only be a month into it. That's a lot.
Yeah.
Then we're like, okay, November. Let me tell you, November. My parents got married in November. My sister got married in November. My niece Alyssa got married in November. My birthday is in November. My niece Alyssa's birthday is in November. My nephew Memphis's birthday is in November. My niece Lexi's birthday is in November. There were no November dates to pick, so we settled on October.
We did.
And then my older sister has an early, I think... Sorry, Jennifer, if you ever listen to this podcast, but I don't know when your anniversary is. I think it's October 9th. That sounds like a good day. And so we picked October 19th. And so October 19th of 2024, because Jay struggles with his issues and he wants to have his top surgery before we even take the engagement photos, before we have the wedding.
Yeah.
And so giving him all of the rest of 2022 to figure that out, the first half of 2023, and then we can do the engagement photos because that gives them time to find the surgeon, schedule the surgery, schedule the consultation, have the surgery, and recover. Yeah. I thought this through. Don't worry, friends.
She did. She thought it through more than I did because I was like, I don't fucking know.
You're like, let's get married next year, and I'm like, it's gonna take you like 6 months to recover fully. Like, what?
I'm excited about just the adventure.
Oh Lord.
With Megan. And just the crazy things that we go through in life every day. And
I'm a little dumb, and I don't think before I speak. Like the other day, I ran out of the bathroom, and I have, anyone who knows me, I have straight across bangs. And I decided one day I'm going to pin them back. And I literally ran to him. I'm like, babe, I decided to have a forehead today. And he just looked at me like, what the fuck do you mean you decided to have a forehead today?
Like you just did not have one this whole time.
Did not exist to me.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun. I'm excited for it.
Me too.
Yeah.
But, we went to a tangent and it finished the rest of our Dallas trip. But, we went to bed that night, that Friday night, or Saturday, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, we went to dinner.
We went to dinner
with my family, and that was lackluster AF. And I'm just like, and Razoo's is like my favorite. It's me and my mom's favorite, and it was so fucking lame that I just...
And I think it might have been the specific one your dad took us to, because your mom said she was going to take us to the one we were closer to before.
I don't know, but I just was not happy with the outcome of it all. And and also I haven't eaten out a lot because A, my tooth was bothering me for so long, and then B, because since I stopped working in the field for so long, I've had the chance to actually like cook at home. So I've been eating at home mostly. So when I go out and eat, I'm like, everything is just kind of like, everything is so fucking inconsistent. Like every time we've eaten something, it's been very inconsistent. It's either good one day and it's like shit the next. So it's like, I know if I would cook it at home, it's consistently good every time because it's something we made.
Even the food, because you and I ordered the same thing. We ordered the catfish basket. So you had fried catfish, French fries, and then hush puppies. And I ate my hush puppies, and I knew they were jalapeno hush puppies, so I expected to be spicy.
Yeah.
And mine were plain as heck. So I was like, oh man, that's great. They're not that spicy. Let me try yours. No. Mouth died.
Yeah, I don't know why.
I was like chugging water. So it was even inconsistent basket to basket.
So I wasn't happy about that. We went home and went to bed.
Yeah.
And then Sunday,
we ate at Lolo's.
We ate at Lolo's Sunday morning.
Which is chicken and waffles.
Yeah, fried chicken and waffles. It was good. It wasn't bad. And then we drove around for 4 hours.
Honestly, Waffle House was better. We ate Waffle House
We ate
before
Waffle
Trader
House
Joe's.
Saturday, and that shit, Trader Joe's.
Trader's
Village. And it was fucking fire. And they were singing their ass off. They were serenading us with a breakfast. So that shit was fire.
And if anybody, I don't know if I've said this on the podcast. I think I tried the vlog while I was in Texas. It did not work.
This bitch vlogged for 2 days and forgot. Like, she said, hey guys, we're in Texas. And
then that was it.
And then I was like, the whole time I was like, what is bitch vlogging at? Like,
anyway,
she never vlogged again.
So in my hometown, I worked at this restaurant called Gus's. And it wasn't a diner, but they had, like, diner quality coffee. I loved their coffee. And so ever since then, I just love shitty, like, restaurant diner coffee. Like, Perkins, give me your crap-ass coffee from the back. Love it. And so I just was, like, in love with my low coffee cup of coffee. It was the best.
It was great. The breakfast there was great. Lola's was great. We drove around for 4 hours looking around downtown, and then we got back home, and I said, okay, we're going to walk around downtown. So I drove her to the, where did we go?
First, we went to the farmer's market.
Where did we go Monday?
Why are you on Monday? We're still on Sunday, babe.
You're right. So, Sunday we went to the
farmer's market.
Farmer's market.
Because then after the farmer's market, we went to the Gayborhood. Or it was either Gayborhood, farmer's market, Gayborhood.
No, we went to the museum, didn't we?
Oh shit, we did go to the museum first.
Okay, this is what happens, okay? Like,
excuse us.
We have no idea what's happening. But we went to the museum first, and it's called the Video Game Museum.
Yeah.
And it is cool as fuck.
It really is.
It's not huge, but hey, you know what?
If anybody wants to follow my Facebook page called Rocky Takes Photos, I posted pictures of the museum there. Because I am a photographer on a budget, I don't have another battery for my camera. Mostly because when I'm out taking pictures at like weddings and stuff, it's with my sister. And she has like 6 batteries, so I've never needed to have my own extra battery.
Well, now she do.
Because it died. But anyway.
Yeah, depressing.
So, but I have a few pictures of downtown Dallas and then a whole bunch of pictures from the museum, which honestly, you can see pictures of buildings anywhere. Like,
yeah. But we went to the museum and we had fun. And then I said, all right, so we're going to go downtown now and walk around. So we went to the farmer's market,
which was really cool.
That was really nice. They renovated it since I've been
really
there.
Nice.
So it was really nice on the inside. And when we went to the Gayborhood, which is in Oaklawn, Dallas, and that was great.
Music was...
It was gay as fuck. No, I'm just kidding.
No, it really was.
No, it was. The music was thumping, bitch. And I was like, I'm telling you, it's literally bumping all the time. And then we went to the food truck alley, and that was nice. We walked around there for a little bit, got some little ices again, snow cones, and then we went to the AT&T Discovery Center. Jesus,
that was cool as fuck. Honestly,
that was cool as fuck. And we went inside. One of the hotels has like little statues of like LED screens that change.
They're like little columns.
It's kind of weird, but then they had a little area for Pride, a little art installation for Pride, and then across the way was kind of like an inside area where people, kind of like another farmer's market sort of, where people like you could choose different food you wanted. There was like a waffle place where you can make your own waffle. It was kind of cool. And we ate. That was the only time where I ate something that was actually really good, and it was just authentic street tacos, and they were so fucking good.
I got sliders just because I had a feeling the tacos were gonna be spicy, and I'm a baby when it comes to spice.
They were so good.
So I got sliders.
We did that
and tots,
and then it was starting to get busy, and it was starting to get dark. So we headed back home, and we went to bed.
Yeah, because not that we didn't want to stay out and experience the nightlife. One, just went out there. It's scary now. We didn't want to be around all those people. And two, we both don't like crowds. I get really anxious around crowds. And so we were just like, we saw what we want to see. I got the pictures I needed. Let's go home.
Yeah, and then we, I had a little bit of a panic attack in the middle of the night, and I just really wanted to come back home because I just feel like we got everything we needed. We shopped it and we did everything. We got pictures and we saw everything we wanted to see, and we headed back home Monday morning.
You woke up at 4. Then you didn't wake me up, but I like heard you moving around, and so I got up around 4:35, like 4:35ish. Checking on you, and then we talked to your mom. We talked to your mom for like a good. Like, we had a big old heart-to-heart with her.
3 hours, yeah.
We talked for everything from conspiracies to devils and music.
And I'm going to tell you right now, conspiracies, no, leave me alone with that shit. Go away.
To, like, anxiety, to how to handle it, to her life experiences, your life experiences, my life experience. Like, we had this huge old heart-to-heart. Like, I don't feel like we left anything unsaid from that. Because we started that conversation at 4:30. And then around 9, we're like, okay, let's get ready. And then we continued having that conversation when your dad got up. And we didn't end up leaving until like 11.
Yeah, and then we got home around...
Well, we picked up Atlas.
Yeah.
Around 5.
5 or
30.
6. Yeah, 5:30ish. And I will tell you right now, the instant relief I had getting home was nice. Just because Dallas is full of people. Just people and driving, and I warned her of that. She already knew pretty much, but I warned her of that. Like, I moved from there for a reason, and that reason being there's too many motherfuckers, the driving is too much, and I just wasn't happy. Like, mentally, I was just not happy, and I have mentally, yes, I was not happy here, but I have finally found like my happy place finally, but. We get there, and I'm like, this is very much like a visiting stay. I have now will never move back there. Like, at first, I contemplated it. Like, I was like, maybe we'll move back there. And then I got there, and I was like, hell no.
So, both of you, you're 2 people. Both of us have had those moments in our life where we're like, we just want to get the fuck out of Kansas.
Right.
Get me out of here. Get me away. For some reason, we landed on Arizona as being our safe state, and I don't know why we both picked Arizona.
I don't know.
I think it might have been because my older niece, and her boyfriend had talked about it, and I was like, hey, they want us to move to Arizona with us. And you're like, bet, let's do it. Because we don't have any kids, and, like, we could just pick up and move, honestly, if we really wanted to. But then even, like, recently, I was like, yeah, 5-year plan, let's get out of Kansas. But I'm like, no. 5-year plan in 5 to 7 years, let's try and buy a house. I'm good with renting for the next 5 years to get ourselves settled, to get, things in check. I forgot where I was going with that. That's kind of, I really did. This is what happens
when you talk to Megan. Her brain be
like... What were you talking about? Oh, because you talked about moving.
Abuse.
For those of you who aren't watching, I just tapped Jay in the arm, and that's why he said abuse.
But
no, I'm satisfied with Kansas. Like, I think this is a place where I'm meant to be, because there's no way in hell I would drive a minute in Texas.
Oh, no.
I can barely drive in Wichita.
She would wreck her shit 100%. Like, our car would be fucking toast.
I would spend so much money Ubering everywhere, or taking Lyft, because Uber kind of sucks.
Yeah. But it was I'm glad to be back home. Yeah. And I'm glad that we had fun, and it was great.
We stopped at Buc-ee's, obviously. For those of you who are watching, you can see my Buc-ee's bucket hat.
We stopped at Buc-ee's and spent way too much money.
Yeah, we did. Sensory overload. I literally walked in there, and I could not, I don't even think I spoke a whole sentence the whole time I was in there.
So she looked like she was pissed off the whole time. I will say that. And that's a very rare moment for her. Yeah. She never looks like that, but she looked like she was just pissed because there were so many motherfucking people.
Well, there were so many people, so many options, and then you kept asking, well, do you want this? Do you want this? Do you want... I'm like, I want out.
Yeah.
I don't know what you want me to say, but I just need out of this damn store.
She wanted out. She wanted to be done.
It was a cool experience. We kind of went overboard. We got Buc-ee's cups, Buc-ee's koozies, I got a Buc-ee's hat and Buc-ee's shorts.
I got a Buc-ee's shirt.
You got a Buc-ee's shirt.
And the weird thing is I've been to Buc-ee's a lot before this and never bought a single thing except for, food. And then this time I was like, fuck it.
I could see why. So I have, at the school I used to teach at, there was a very high Hispanic population. And during spring break and even during, 3-day weekends, a lot of my students, their families, take trips to Mexico. They drive there. And one of my students in particular is always like, Miss Rocky, if you ever go to Texas, Buc-ee's is the place to poop. They got the best bathrooms. They got the best snacks. Buc-ee's is the poopin' gas station. And I was like, you know what? I believe you, man. You've been there more than I have. So I kind of felt like, I was like, oh, now I experience something my students have.
Yep. It's a pretty cool place.
I did not poop there, though, so.
It's a pretty cool place. And if you ever go from Wichita to Texas, more than likely you'll pass the one in Denton. Mm-hmm. But it was really nice, and I had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
But I'm just glad to be back home and on back to our regular lives and our routine, because that to me is a very important thing for me mentally. So I'm really happy about that.
Yeah.
So that was our whole trip.
That really was, yeah.
And now I'm back to my regular schedule. Streaming program. No longer on vacation.
No vacation mode.
So what was your... Megan has a tangent she would like to go on.
Now I'm embarrassed by it.
She's creating controversies on YouTube.
Okay, so there's this specific podcast I listen to. I'm not going to say what it is. It's just this content creator, and this is one place where she's more uncensored. So she'll talk about sex, drugs, alcohol, because the rest of her stuff is more family friendly. And on the podcast, they were talking about sex positions or whatever, and then both of the people on that podcast are gay, but they had previously been with men. And one of them said, oh, I thought you were talking about when we were both with a man. And she was like, ew, no, men are gross. And it's a common joke that these two creators make. And I just commented on their video. I said, like, hey, I understand where you're coming from with the whole men are gross joke, but just so you know the other side of it, a lot of bisexuals / pansexuals can tend to feel a little left out of the conversation when you make comments like that, because a lot of people tend to glorify the whole gold star lesbian thing. And for those of you who don't know, a gold star lesbian is a person or a lesbian who has never had sexual relations with a man at all.
Me.
So yeah,
Fuck
Jay
that.
would be a gold star lesbian if you were a lesbian.
That's right.
But, and I just commented, I was like, hey, like, by the way, like, it kind of belittles the bisexual experience in the LGBTQ community. And then I didn't think anyone would really see the comment, because, like, it's just one random comment, and I kind of just wanted to throw it out there of, like, hey, I understand your experience and the reason why you said this, but think of it from another person's point of view. And now I have, like, 17 notifications because people are fighting in the comments over whether it was offensive or not, and I just want to throw it out there and say, stop belittling people in the queer community who have been with men. Because, like, if I was a bisexual who was in a relationship with a cisgendered man, I would feel like my opinion in the queer community didn't matter. And, like, that I was less than or gross because I am dating this man. And I wouldn't feel gay. Like, that, I'm just going to throw it out there. Like, as a bisexual and who predominantly only dated men, not by my choice, once again, because I'm bisexual, all of the women or non-cisgendered men I have tried to talk to, except for him, have left me because I was bisexual. I even had a boyfriend leave me because I was bisexual. That was a real nice twist to the whole, saga. But just be aware that you can joke about it once and it's ha-ha funny, but jokes are only funny once. Don't repeat it over and over again. That's kind of...
Yeah, that's fucking facts.
I don't know, do you have anything to say on the...
As
a gold star...
I would say
queer?
that...
I don't want to call you a lesbian.
As I would say that it's... Oh my gosh. Okay. So at one point in my life, I very much did not like to date girls who were bi because of the fact that, I've dealt with a lot of girls who were, and that shit did not go well. It went so far south, and
there are bad stereotypes of bisexuals for a reason, because people fit those stereotypes.
Yep, 100%. And it sucks because it ruins it for everyone else who is just trying to live. Like, it ruins it for everybody else, and that does suck, because there are good ones out there like Megan who just want to be happy and be in a happy relationship, but there are people that used to be like me that are very like, no, I won't date you because you're bi and you're going to cheat on me with some guy. And I mean, I've had it happen to me, plenty of times. So, but I feel like it's more like, you can't assume everybody's the same. I think that's like the biggest thing that I will add to that, is not everybody's the same. Not every person's going to make the same choices, so you can't say, well, she's going to do the same thing this other girl just did. You don't know that. Because I'll say Megan, for sure, definitely didn't do the same things. That she's not like anyone else I've ever dated. She's different. And
that was gross. I hate
I
us.
don't hear I'm acting different, but that's the thing, is like, she just doesn't... She doesn't do the same thing. She doesn't act the same way. She's her own self. And, I told her my fears at the beginning, but...
You almost stopped talking to me.
A little bit, maybe.
For a little bit. Because you asked me, I don't know, did you ask me if I was... I
asked her how she identified, and she told me, and
I think you led with it. You go, hey, I go by he, they pronouns, and I'm trans. what are yours and how do you identify? So you led with it like that. You didn't just straight up go, are you bi?
Yeah, I wanted to make sure she was comfortable in telling me what she identifies as and stuff like that, and what her pronouns were. And so she told me she was bi, and I kind of got iffy about it, but I still wanted to give her a chance, and I'm very glad that I did.
Yeah,
it worked out.
I'm great.
Goodbye.
I just let people live, and like, I get men are trash, like, I get it, but my experience is not any less because of who I've been with or who I haven't been with. So that's just my little soapbox that I wanted to stand on for a hot second.
She went on a hot ass tangent when she got in this room, because she was like, Jay, this is what I did, and she told me about the comment, and I was just like, I mean, I agree with you 100%, just because, like, jokes only funny once, and if you keep saying it, it loses its value. And then I'm like, can you shut up, bro? Like, it's not fucking funny anymore. It's actually kind of ass. Yeah. So stop doing it. Like, it's not funny. And I think a lot of people will literally, especially, you know, in the field I work in, I work with a lot of men, mostly men. They make jokes, and I'm like, bro, that's not funny. It's like actually kind of dumb, and it's inappropriate. So I get a lot of those, and I mean, girls do it too, but I really only work with men, and then like 2 other females. So I mean, and 1 other girls only work on my shift. So
yeah,
you know, but
and I work with kids, so like the only adult interaction I get is outside of
me, basically. Yeah. And is that adult interaction? Maybe. Sometimes. But I just want everybody to just live their best life.
Right? Live your best life. Do what you want to do.
Live your best you is what I'm going to say. Because it doesn't matter what anyone thinks about who you are and what you choose and who do you choose to be with and whatever. Just be the best you that you can be for you. Like,
one of my friends used to say, follow your true north. Like, out of all the things that person said, that was probably the one thing I actually like took a hold of. You know who I'm talking about now.
Yes, I do.
Follow your true north. If that's not what you want to do, don't do it.
Crazy how they said that.
I digress.
But still, like, you know, do you, be you. And because we're all about individuality. We're all about it. And
I struggle with that, honestly. Like, I've let a lot of people influence me, and I mean, I've had not a lot of friends who have done it, a few friends who have tried to be like,
you shouldn't do that.
This is what you need to do, or, and I don't know if they were making, like, because I, like, thinking back now, I take jokes and things very literally. I've noticed that's something that I do, and
yes.
And it's something I'm just now realizing about myself.
100%.
So if someone says, like, oh, you're weird for listening to that, and they were just meaning it as a joke, my brain's like, oh, I'm weird. I shouldn't listen to that. So now I have anxiety to the point where I won't play my music loud in the car, because if another car hears me and judges the music I'm listening to, I might die. So, like, I'm still working through becoming my own person.
I'm used to people thinking what I listen to is weird, just because, you know, I grew up African American household and around a lot of African Americans who did not listen to metal and stuff like that. And when I was younger, that's literally, I only listened to anything that was under the rock umbrella. I listen to some pop, but more rock than anything. And now, I mean, it's.
So you listen to more pop now than anything.
Yeah, but like, one time, someone very close to me, still very close to me, said something really dumb, and it was like, and bigoted, and they said, love how you listen to more black people music, because I was listening to Jack Harlow. Out of all people, this motherfucker is not black.
That's like, he's white.
He is white, and he's very mid-tier rapper. I don't care what anybody gotta say.
I feel
he's very mid-tier, and I don't give a fuck. But I was listening to Jack Harlow. Yes. And I listened to Jack Harlow, and I'm like, this is not what? Like, it was the most bigoted shit I've ever fucking heard in my life. Like, And that will stick with me forever because I was like, no.
You're going to have to tell me who said that when we're off podcast because I don't even know. You didn't even tell me that.
It's someone very close to me. And I still think they're a bigot for it. And I will not change my mind. Huh? No. Mm-mm. I don't know who you just said either.
I just whispered very close to you.
I don't know what you said. But I just
told you what I said.
Oh. But it just didn't make sense to me just because like I love music of all kinds, and I don't feel like a race has anything to do with what I listen to at all. Like I listen to something and my brain goes, I love it. So I'm just like, I love this. Like, this is great. I don't care who wrote it. I don't care who sang it. I don't care. Like, I just love it. And I give that person that credit wherever it needs to go to. But it annoyed the fuck out of me because I was like, no. This is just not the hill you want to die on, sis. Like, it's really not.
We just need to stop gatekeeping music. Like,
some music we do.
What do we need to gatekeep?
No, let's not get started on.
What do we need to gatekeep, babe?
Let's not.
No, let's start this.
I think if it's a religious,
okay,
cultural thing, absolutely gatekeep.
That's different. That's different. That's.
And if we have a slang thing,
cultural appropriation.
Your people. I'm sliding this invisible paper to you. Your people need to stop.
Facts.
Taking it. Because you guys take things and you run with it. And you don't give credit where it's due. And that's the problem that a lot of us have. It's like we come up with our own thing. And then y'all take it and y'all just run with it. And then y'all be like, yeah, I just saw this on TikTok. I don't know who from. What? Like, and that was like the whole thing at the beginning of TikTok went, not the beginning, but the Renegade, right? Remember the Renegade?
Renegade.
Charli D'Amelio did it all the time. But nobody knew where she got it from.
Yeah.
And she just ran with that shit for a while. And then we were like, no. Like, and it came from this girl, I don't remember her name, starts with a J, but it came from a girl who she finally gave credit to, but it took her so long to get the credit that she deserved. That's what I'm saying. It's just like, we as black creators, black artists, black anything, we create things and just for it to just be taken away from us. And that's a very hard thing that I have learned is like one time I wrote a lot of music I used to put on SoundCloud. This is why I don't use SoundCloud anymore. This guy, he stole literally every fucking song I ever had on SoundCloud, like the whole catalog, everything, and uploaded it to his SoundCloud, and then made a band page, got band members.
Given you personally knew this man.
I personally knew this person.
Didn't you work together?
We were friends on social media. We worked together on a label.
So that like it's not like he was stealing a random ass person. Like you personally knew him.
Yeah, and he stole my whole catalog. And then he slipped up and he stole a band song that I had worked with at the time. He stole their song, and I was like, and I caught wind of it one day because we were still friends on social media. Like, he wasn't trying to hide it. And I just saw like the song and I was like, maybe I should check it out. Whatever, you know?
Yeah.
He's my friend.
Support.
I listened to it. I was like, whoa, hold on. This is not. And I linked, and then people commented just like, I feel like I've heard this before, but this is really good. And I linked the actual music video of the song, because there was a music video to the song, and I linked it to that video, like as a comment, and people were like, oh, Steve, you stole the song, oh my god, you stole the song from another band, like, and he didn't make it in enough time to like delete everything, and then he came under fire for stealing it, and then next thing I know, one of his band members is calling me on Facebook Messenger. I finally answer, and he's like, "Oh man, you know what? Here's his SoundCloud, and he had stolen every single song, and then he also stole pictures from my Instagram of like gear that I bought. It was very weird. I don't know what the fuck was going on.
He was trying to be you.
And I don't know, but it was giving very like roommates vibes, and I was like, "You gonna kill me?" are you going to please don't kill my dog? Like, you know how she killed the cat.
Don't even talk about it. I'll
like,
cry.
don't do that. Like, he just gave very weird vibes and very weird energy. And I was like, dude, let's just take my shit down and we're good. I don't even want to fucking deal with you.
Yeah.
We almost went to court and he finally took the shit down. And then I realized he had like a stalking case against him and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, so you're a weirdo. So then I ended up removing him from everything and getting the shit that I needed back from him and whatnot. But it was a very bad time. And I've had my stuff taken from me before and it's not fun. I mean, I've had sexist stuff happen to me too, or, you know, I've gone to try out for bands and, you know, identified as a female at the time and they were like, oh, we want a guy guitarist or we want a guy vocalist. But then they listen to what I've written and be like, oh, well, wait, hold on. And I'm like, no, now I don't want to work with you. Like, I don't want to. So I'm very much like an integrity person. And so I just want people to give credit where it's due. And I see a lot of people like on Twitter talk about how, you know, white people take stuff from black people a lot. And it does, and I've seen it happen a lot, and I have to stop turning a blind eye to it. And also, one other tangent is stop separating the artist from their music and it's always some shitty ass motherfucker who says it. And you know what I'm talking about?
Chris Brown.
Look. If you like Chris Brown, you do you. I'm judging you silently. But you do you. But here's the thing. When you listen to their music, and I mean, I have music too. It used to be on Spotify. You pay me when you listen to my music. Okay? It may not be a lot, but there's money there. There's revenue there. If you listen to an artist, you are giving them money. You're supporting them by listening to them. And there's no, well, you know, it's just music. No, it's not. An artist puts so much emotion and time and money and effort into their music, and they put everything into that. And for you to just like, it's just music, separate the artist from music. Hell no. There are so many bands I stopped listening to because they're bigoted, they're racist, like they're closet racists,
pedophiles.
Yep. And I'm sorry, will not support your band. I don't care if you kick that member out, bitch. I don't give a fuck. I'm not listening.
You still fucked with them for that long until it became a headline.
A, yes, that. And B, they're still on the songs that I liked. So True. No, I'm not going to listen to it. And that's one thing that I have always that has always bothered me, because it also trickles down into turning a blind eye when someone's done something wrong and you know they've done it, and you turn a blind eye and you're just like, oh, it's not my problem, so it didn't happen to me, so that's some bullshit. Because if it did happen to you, you want everybody to be on your side, going on a damn witch hunt, like just being like, they did me dirty and you're still friends with them, that's trash. Okay, it's like literally the same fucking thing. So for me, I don't listen to Chris Brown. I don't have any Chris Brown music in my library. I don't think, actually.
Best Friends.
And I can remove that. I forgot that's Jack Harlow's song, but Chris Brown's on it, so we gotta remove it. But that's what I'm saying is because
I brought that up to you, I said, how do you feel about separating the artist from music? And
I know that people can change, and I know that that's, but it's the actions that also continue to happen after. Like, if it was a one-time offense and you're like, yeah, I did this, I was angry, but you have continuously worked on yourself to better yourself for your community and people around you, it's very different. But if you have continually showed your ass on the interwebs, and you have continuously been a shitty individual, why the fuck should I keep supporting you? Like, it's not gonna keep, I'm not gonna keep saving, like, your ass to, like, the people I like, I'm not gonna be like, yeah, listen to them because this, I mean, yeah, they're kind of a dick, but, like, I like their music. I don't give a fuck. Look, I'll listen to another motherfucker. I do not care. Like, there's so much music out there. I remove another band and add another one. It ain't shit. Like, it really ain't. But I think that's, like, one huge thing is we care when it conveniences us. We don't care when it doesn't convenience us. And for me, it's like, yeah, it doesn't affect me, but it affected someone else. It affected someone else, and it was a bad effect. So for me, it's like, I'm going to support that person and stop supporting this person. And I think that's like, and I do that with my friends too. Like, if somebody did one of my friends dirty, I'm gonna be like, bitch, I'm gonna ride for you. So if you're not friends with them, then I'm not gonna be friends with them either. Because if they do you dirty, what are they gonna do to me too? Like, you know? Yeah. So
absolutely.
I'm very much a ride or die for like stupid reasons too. And sometimes I don't need to be one of them motherfuckers, but I am. Like,
can 100%. I name drop a friend real quick?
Yeah, absolutely.
Christine, I feel like is the number one ride or die. She will do anything.
100%. Christine is a ride or die till the day the wheels fall the fuck off. Like,
and I don't know if she listens to the podcast or not. I
don't know.
We'll say because Christine's your friend.
Yes.
And I did not meet them or her until
it took
October.
Me and Christine were friends for like a year, and then we had a little bit of a separation because something happened, and it just turned into a big mess that it shouldn't have turned into.
Then you got invited to the same event,
and then we ended up being in the same place at the same time at the right time, thank God, and we became friends again. And I love that friendship so much. I cherish it with every fiber of my being.
But I've never told Christine this. So Christine, hi, if you're listening. When I first met her, she has such a big, loud personality.
100%.
And I have such a personality where I will make myself small to give you more space. And so I'm always weary of those type of people. And so for the first probably like 3 times, I did not like Christine. Not that I did not like her. I was intimidated by her presence. Like, because I felt like I had to move back into the corner and be like, make myself smaller.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, I will die for Christine and her chickens. Like...
Oh Lord!
Also, Christine, if you're listening, I am still down to get the Fox and the Hound tattoo with you.
Oh my goodness, I cherish that friendship with every single fiber of my being because Christine is 100% a ride or die. She is not. She is not a devil's advocate. No. She is very much like, they did you dirty. End of story. There's no.
Cut that bitch off.
Yeah, there's no ifs, ands, and buts. No bitch. Like. And that's the energy that I live for. Not all of my friends are like that, and that's okay.
Because you can't have a whole friend group of that.
Yeah, you can't have a friend group that's just like ride or die bitches. But
you gotta have the logical one.
You gotta have the logical ones.
Stay home.
But Christine 100% cherished that friendship with every single part of me because we are the same when it comes to someone did you dirty. Okay, they did us dirty then. Like that's the energy that I get. So
yeah,
because if someone does her dirty, they do us dirty. Like that's you getting fought now because if you did her dirty, you got fucking problems. Like you do me dirty, I understand because I'm kind of a shithead sometimes. But if you do her dirty, you are a bitch. Like you literally you want to get cut. Like you just
anyway.
Sorry, I got a little violent. My bad.
So. When I said my comment of we need to stop gatekeeping music, I was talking about the whole Stranger Things Metallica thing.
Oh my goodness.
So there was one, I don't even know if it was multiple. It might have been just one Metallica song that was in Stranger Things because of one of the new characters that was introduced. And people on Metallica's TikTok were like, fuck all these new fans. You don't even know I've been a fan for 40 years. I've been listening to Metallica since I was 2. And then Metallica came back and was like, I don't give a fuck if you've been fans of us for 40 days or 40 years. Music is music. Let them enjoy it. And if you enjoy this song, they listed other songs that they might enjoy. And people are having a hard time accepting that.
I was one of those people that when people wore band tees, I'd be like, do you even know who that band is? Name a song. Like,
no, I don't. It's a cool shirt.
I would literally, you don't have to lean into it.
I don't know why I started doing that.
I literally would be one of those people that Bring Me the Horizon was a prime example of that. I told you that. Where Bring Me the Horizon, we all know what they were before. Chelsea Smiled, whatever. And it was great, right? And then they took a break. They came out with Sempiternal. And I was like, okay. And then they came out with the other shit. And I was like, nope. And then people were like, I love Bring Me. I've loved Bring Me for forever. And I'm like,
I was one of those people. I only knew their newer shit.
Sounds like you didn't. And then I'd be like, do you know Chelsea Smile? And I'd be like, who? And I'd be like, yeah, no, you don't really like Bring Me. You like the new shit. You don't like the old shit. Like My Chemical Romance, one person I've told you about.
What did you even say? My Chemical Romance.
My Chemical Romance. When they were like, I love My Chemical Romance. Since, I don't know, they were like older. They had just gotten into them. And I was like,
I know who you're talking about.
I was like, we listened to them when I was in like 8th grade. Like, that phase was over in my life. Because they were like, I'm going to go to the concert. And I was like, I'm not. Like, what the fuck? And I had a wedding that same day. And I said, well, I have a wedding to get to. So I guess you're just not. And they were, we were supposed to go together. And I was like, I guess we're not going to go together. And she was like, well, I have a My Chemical Romance concert that day. I was like, yeah, I do not care about that. Like, that's the thing is like, I don't understand. Like, that's one like weird thing that I just don't understand. Like, we're not. No, that's not.
Sometimes you just come into music late in life.
I get it. I
might have been a sheltered child, like.
Or you weren't, and you just didn't listen to it.
No, you didn't listen to that type of stuff until you've met someone who actually introduced you to good stuff, like.
To good stuff. Is that what you think My Chemical Romance is?
No, but.
What's the worst thing I could say? Sorry. That's
I'm leaving. Did you just get a rock jaw my neck?
But
talk about abuse.
But like.
I'm gonna blink twice if I need help.
Stop. But gatekeeping music, she's right. Like people do it a lot, and they're just like, you don't know this person, don't be listening to them, like it, or like people just now listening to Doja Cat, and then people are like, why listen to Doja Cat when it was like mixtape Doja Cat? Okay, why can't we all just listen to Doja Cat? Like I don't
like if you love them, you love them. Like wouldn't you want the more support for the band or the group person you love?
Yes, that's what I'm saying. It's like, we don't care. This is not a pissing contest. I don't care how long you've known them. I don't give a fuck. Honestly, I don't give a fuck way too much. All I need is like 2 shots of my cup. Hey, I got it right. But that's the thing is like, I don't care how long you've known them. I just care about the fact that I know them. Like,
okay, then I have one more thing to talk to you about now.
Exactly. Like I hate that everyone likes it. I used to feel that way about BTS. About K-pop in general.
Oh, I'm the newest K-pop fan ever.
I've liked K-pop since I was in like middle school. And people would be like, I love BTS, but they've only heard like Dynamite and...
The only BTS song I know is Black Swan, and Butter.
But
that's like their newest. Okay. That's their new.
But see... I knew BTS when they were like War of Hormone and Dope. Like that's when I
He's cool, guys. He knew it beforehand.
I'm great. And that's what I'm saying is like I loved K-pop, and now I've like gradually just kind of like not, because it's becoming Americanized now.
That's
and
fair.
And it changes. And the sound changes when it becomes that way. Yeah. And it used to bop, and now it just...
I think I like the newer K-pop. I mean, because I only got into it... Excuse me, I just burped a little bit. I'm gonna fight you.
Okay.
Because at the gym, I was going through playlist, because... let me tell you, if you have Spotify, one of the best workout playlists is the Workout to Workout. It's great, but then they also have Work, the capital K, out, and it's all K-pop music. And so and they change it up, add the new stuff. And that's how I got introduced to K-pop, was through that was that playlist. Because when I first met you, you're like, what music do you listen to? And I'm like, well, on my on repeat right now, I have Sixth the Musical, a K-pop song, Steven Universe, Doja Cat, Ash Nico. So I just screenshotted that and sent it to you, and you're like, oh, I see K-pop on there. I'm like, yeah, but don't get too excited. I'm a new fan.
And I went, oh.
You did.
Oh. No, but I mean, yeah, gatekeeping music, it's kind of annoying. Mm-hmm. I do understand that. Yeah. I hate the pissing contests. I get a lot of those. Like, I mean, I've known him since. I don't care. I don't care. Like, I don't give a fuck. I really don't.
Yeah. Because if I find a band, I'm like, oh man, you turned me on to Ariana Grande music. Like, I've always been slightly a fan, but I was misled. I always thought she was more for, like, preteens just because of her role on Victorious.
Absolutely not.
And I never took the chance to actually listen to her music. And absolutely not preteen. And then you're like, no, listen to this. And I was like, oh, yeah, she's really good. And you're not going to be like, oh, you're just now listening to that song? You're like...
No, absolutely not. Yeah. Like, I'm a... Man.
Ariana Grande stays at your top.
Man, I know. I stan Ariana so much. And any person that has ever interacted with me was like, you love Ariana Grande way too much. No, I don't. Like, it's... No,
it's a healthy amount.
It's a very healthy amount that I like Ariana, so.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I've turned you on to stuff, and you've turned me on to stuff.
Exactly.
Like,
well, our music tastes were different, but adjacent to each other to begin with, because I was like I listened to, like, All Time Low, Forever Sick as Kids, like, the more...
Maria coming.
Would you call that more pop?
It's pop punk or whatever.
Pop punky side of the... For those of you just listening, I was making some very large hand gestures, and Jay was mocking me. Anyway, so, like, our music tastes were adjacent to each other is what I was trying to get at, and so it wasn't hard to be like, hey, you might like this song as well.
Doubt it. Doubt it.
You just spat on me.
Good. Not the first time, not the last time. Just kidding. Okay. Well,
just kidding.
We have now reached
an hour and 21 minutes.
The end of this amazingly tangenty episode.
This is what just my brain is like all day.
Yeah, literally, our brains are like this all day, and I'm glad that you guys were able to take a peek into our brains for once. But Sunday, we are going to have another episode.
Yeah, because we kind of fucked you guys over on that. I'm sorry.
But we will be back Sunday again and have another episode. We will get this uploaded ASAP Rocky for you guys, so you guys will have it in the morning. Right now, it is like 11 o'clock. And so
damn, it really is. I thought it was earlier than that.
No, we'll get it uploaded for you. That way, in the morning, on your way to work, you can listen to us, or midday, whatever. But we are glad that you guys joined us for this.
Yeah, we love making these. It just gives the chance to randomly talk. Like, not that we don't talk throughout the day, but
give us some random shit to talk to y'all about, and just relatable stuff and unrelatable stuff and opinions that just don't even matter. So
right.
But thank you guys for joining us, and we will see you on Sunday.